Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. I'm back. After a couple of week hiatus, everybody's been off doing Pro Bowl things. Everybody's been trying to escape this polar vortex. I mean, I live in California, so lol. No polar vortex for me. It's been nice and warm out here, so I apologize for those of you who are suffering through and struggling through these ridiculous -20, -30 temperatures, -50 temperatures. If it's any consolation to you, I've got a ridiculously bad cough that's kept me off the air for a couple of weeks. I've still got it, so I may cough at some points during this broadcast, so I would hope to ask you that you would be patient with my voice if I do happen to go into a little bit of a cough somewhere in the middle of this. We're going to do the best that we can to break down the Super Bowl Showdown slate. On DraftKings, we have the New England Patriots. We have the Los Angeles Rams. We know what they're playing for, and we know what we're playing for. There is a $1 million Showdown tournament. Entry fee, $10. You pick your 6 players. One of them is going to be a captain, just like we have all year, except the stakes are just a little bit bigger, and it's the last football one that we're going to have till like preseason? August? Real one, September for opening day? So let's crack it open. Let's see what we can do. See if we can win some money this week. Hopefully you guys are doing a little bit better than I am, at least in terms of your health. I had a cold. I got over it, but like apparently the cough is going to stick around for 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm 2 weeks into that, and hopefully I can survive and just not die on the air, because that's always the goal, right? That's the goal of life, not dying. So let's see if I can pull that off. So highest priced captain on the slate, Julian Edelman. One of the players with the highest floors in this game based on the amount of supply that he gets, the volume that he sees. 10 targets, 13 targets, 10 targets here, 6 again in week 17, but like it was a blowout and everything was already wrapped up at that point. Consistent usage, and he's seen way more usage around the goal line and in the end zone than Julian Edelman ever has in his career. And you have the playoff stats that he's had where his numbers really balloon in playoff games with Tom Brady. I don't know that I want to plug him into my captain spot. I think that there are other players that have not as high a floor as him, but definitely have touchdown upside. The total in this game, over 50, expecting a lot of offense from both of these teams. Obviously, we want to go with correlated lineups, which leads to the quarterbacks. Tom Brady, 10.6, 15 point something K for plugging him into your captain spot. We know that in Super Bowls, games can get out of hand. A lot of passing, especially in the second half. Teams tend to jab and feel each other out early in the games, right? So like you don't get a lot of scoring in the first quarters. We'll get to some of that in the prop betting video that I'd like to put out later this week. Probably going to come out tomorrow, so be aware and keep looking for that one as it goes along. But you know that Tom Brady's got 3-4 touchdown upside in him. You know that you're going to be playing guys like James White and Edelman and Gronk in your lineups. If you want to fade Brady and you want to go with maybe the New England Patriots defense, if you think that Goff is going to make some mistakes, if you want to go with Sony Michel, that's a good correlation that you can go with in those lineups to avoid Brady and the pass catchers. I just don't think that that's an optimal route to go. He's going to throw the ball 40 to 50 times in this game. The Rams are going to force offense from the opponents, although recently they have turned into more of a ground-based team. We've seen this with Cooper Kupp going out. The Rams have been a really run-heavy team. With Gurley out late in the season, they were running the ball 20-plus times with C.J. Anderson, and the backup was also running the ball 10 to 15 times a game as well on top of that. They've been trying to run the ball a ton. If you look at their stats from the playoff games, Gurley, 4 against New Orleans, 16, 12. That was back in week 15. And then we look at C.J. Anderson and his usage in those games. 16 carries, 23 carries against Dallas. They want to run the ball 30-plus times a game. This isn't the greatest show on turf Rams that we saw earlier in the year, although they still have that possibility to be that. And if they get down, they're going to have to turn back into that. They're not going to be a ground and pound team. But if they get up ahead, I can see them trying to grind this out the way that they've grinded games out more recently with the ground game. Now, Jared Goff, massive home road splits, first Super Bowl. We know that he has multiple touchdown upside, as we've seen it many, many times this year. But we also have these games with 1 touchdown, 0 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 0 touchdown, 0, 1, 0 against Dallas, 1 against New Orleans, where they really rely on the ground game. The defense could definitely come into play in this game. Brady, one of the more efficient passers ever. But this defense, one of the most pressure-driven defenses ever, with Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald and all the other weapons that they have, and Aqib Talib on the outside. There's some players that can get beat, most definitely at cornerback for the Rams. I want to pair Goff with guys. I don't think that he's a captain-eligible player for me, not really the route that I want to go, or at least if I'm going to make 150 lineups, he's not going to be one of my top 3, 4, 5 guys that I'm going to plug him at the captain spot. That's just not the way that I'm approaching this slate. For the price that he is, I'd rather come down here. Gurley, maybe. If you think that he's back, we're going to have to monitor this as we get closer. Obviously, the coach speak, they say he's going to be a big part. I mean, he's been a big part of this offense, but very touchdown dependent. He's had those. Is he still going to get the goal line carries with C.J. Anderson moving in? Robert Woods, massive target floor. Big time touchdown upside. Brandon Cooks, also same type of guy, right? Also more big play upside from him. If Brandon Cooks busts a big one, that could be your game breaker. And at the price that he's at, 11-7, Cooks, 12-3 for your captain. James White, we've seen him do it, and we've seen games like this. 17 targets, 15 catches. This is where the majority of my captaincy is going to go, is in this range. Cooks, Woods, White, Michelle, possibly even Gronk at the price that he's at, because of all the other things that those lineups allow you to do. And let me kind of break this down. So if I said that I want Woods in the captain spot, I also want to have correlation, right? So I want to have Goff with him. I think that this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be on the backs of the quarterbacks. Personally, that's just my view. So I want Tom Brady in that lineup. I think I can get to Julian Edelman, leaving me 3,400. We're going to have to punt something. So we got to find cheap players that we can go with. Everett's been at least involved. You don't need much for 2K. That leaves us 4.9. Burkhead, if you want to gamble on a touchdown. Dorsett's seen some massive change in his target share. Right? What was not used. Now we're getting a player who's actually getting used and actually has touchdown upside. I don't hate it. I really don't. If you want to come off of this and get off of Edelman, we talked about the lower price down here for James White, 7,400. Still going to plug Everett into this, leaving us 8,500 now. Now we can get to Brandon Cooks. There's your Rams kind of super stack, right? With Tom Brady and one of his favorite targets. Looking at more of a Patriots-driven lineup, obviously, I want the correlation. So I'm going to get both quarterbacks in there. Going with whatever Patriots we can get, probably still going to look at James White here. Sony Michel has been getting work. Not going to be involved in the passing game, right? But 29 carries, 24 carries, 18 carries, getting a lot of the goal line work. Could he get vultured by Burkhead? Most definitely. But he's the primary short yardage back for the New England Patriots. I don't care that he's not involved in the passing game. Yes, DraftKings is full point PPR. Yes, it's free points if they're going to go that route. But in a fast-paced game, in a game where they will try to establish dominance. I'm not saying establish the run, but the Patriots really good at scripting, so are the Rams. Early in these games, they're going to try to there's going to be drives where they come out and say, you know what, this is going to be a Sony Michel drive. And we're going to really try and get after it so that we can work with play action, so that we can go with other players, so that we can get to other spots and put Sony Michel in spots where he can really do what he's been doing. And the big playability from this kid is definitely there. 40-yard run in this game, 19-yard run in this game, 34-yard run earlier in the season. He has that breakaway speed that if he gets through this line, he could run away from the Rams. 100 yards in 3 of his last 4 games, multiple touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. And I don't hate pairing White with Michelle, leaving us 3,700. You could go with Zuerlein and the Rams. If you think that New England's going to blow them out, you can go with Gostkowski here. And I don't hate either one of those lineups. There's a lot of different ways that you can go in this Super Bowl showdown. I don't think that you have to stress doing one thing or the other. I'm going to want to have lineups that are Rams-centric. I'm going to want to have lineups that are Patriots-centric. I think you have to think about how you think the game could play out and then build lineups accordingly. Is there a possibility that Jared Goff throws one or less touchdowns in that game? So do you want to pile in Gurley and Anderson into those lineups in the Rams defense and Zuerlein? Yes. Do you want to have lineups where you think Tom Brady is not going to throw for a bunch of touchdowns and they're going to get ahead? So you go with Gostkowski, you go with Michelle, you go with the Patriots defense if you think that Goff is also going to mess up in that game scenario. And you build out the rest of the lineup. Also, if you think the Rams are going to be playing from behind, that lineup correlates very well with Rams pass catchers. There's a lot of different things that you can do to build these lineups. Be sure that you build out your groups. If you're using Daily Roto, the link is down below. Promo code SmithsLife at checkout if you want a discount to use their lineup builder. That's the one that I use all the time for football, for golf as well, for NBA. Set your groups. Also, they do a great job of sending out lineup updates and showdown updates. One of the best players in Showdown this year has been Colin Drewby. He's won multiple Showdown slates, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars this year on Showdown. He sends out their breakdown on Friday and Saturday for how you should approach building groups. So if you subscribe to Daily Roto, you get that as well. And we also have one of the better Showdown players in our Discord with Zandamir, one of the mods on this channel and one of my mods in Discord. If you jump into the Discord, if you're subscribed to the Twitch channel, also the link down below for Twitch. Come and say hello to us here. You can jump into the Discord channel as well. Get into the subs only channel. That's where we all hang out and talk about lineups and strategies and everything else. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you have fun watching the Super Bowl. Would love to hear in the comments section what you are doing for the Super Bowl. I'm personally having a party with some of my friends. You guys know that I have a couple of kids. We're getting a video game truck at my house. We're having some friends over that have kids as well, my kids' friends, everything else, so that the adults can watch the Super Bowl and the kids can get outside and get in the video game truck when they don't feel like sitting there watching the Super Bowl. So best of both worlds for me. I hope that you guys are going to have a great time. Maybe some of you are going to the game. Some of you are having Super Bowl parties. My favorite thing that I used to do would be go to Las Vegas to watch the Super Bowl at some of those ballroom parties that they have in Vegas. One of the best opportunities that if you have a chance to get out to Vegas, get out there and have some fun. I wish you guys the best of luck in this showdown. Come see me on Twitch for our future streams. I'll try to come out with a prop betting video for all the different fun prop bets tomorrow. Look out for that one. Drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.